guys, it's the mic check. I'm Jack and this is Shiv, and we're here with Slouch in the studio. He's performing live a song. Let's hear it, guys. Let's give it up for him.
Yeah, pressure make diamonds, of course. Knew that the kids still shining bright. Wasn't ahead in the course. Now I'm ahead in a horse racing. Ran out of time in the ghost. I cannot go back for it, that's crazy. Why would I argue with you? These rappers try reinventing the wheel, but I'm still paving the road. These backwoods ain't really helped that feeling. Thinking it's time I let go. In the bando, bumping them demons, being a reason they 7 they so. In the back, she sucking and squeezing, screaming this life ain't livable, no. Whoa, look at me now, I'm a pro. Women ain't bitches at all. But bitches is bitches for sure. Twisting and turning and rolling, just showing I got motion. Couldn't get a look at your brody, couldn't get a look at the homies. I could go buzz on a rollie, but I'm trying to help feed a family of 40. I was just screaming free Tory until I found out he still rock with the Crody. Whoa, this is the devilish story, and you've been here reading, but not even knowing. Look at the eye of the oars, look at the guy I'm pouring. But not right now, I ain't worth it. Wake up, go get the cake up, gotta go spread it with all of my peeps. Right around town in the Ville, they call me the king, I ain't fuck with a queen. Now I just fuck with a tree. Yeah, I'ma keep it complete. Rollie, it costs 200, but I ain't gon' get it, I need me some sleep. Meditation, I'm in silence. I'm keeping it quiet. Stutter up on the beat. Now they're gonna rewind it. Tape back, get your tape back. Know what I'm gonna say. Diamonds all on my neck. Rollie all in your face. Yeah, swag is terrific. Yeah, my bag is the biggest. Yeah, yo bitch, yeah, she with it. This the king, this the god, this the one, I'm with the squad. 40's been slouch, I'm the king in the house. And yeah, sit on the couch, fucking, that's it. I'm done, I'm out of here. That's it. 47 shit. Yeah.
All right, what's up, guys? It's the mic check. We're here with hip-hop artist in Queens. This guy, he's telling me he doesn't want to do music anymore. We're here with none other than 47 Slouch. What's going on? What I'm seeing on social media, I'm seeing right now that you've been saying you're taking hiatus off music. Why? What is this? You know, we've been listening to you for too long. Like, tell us right now. What's going on?
Well, what's up, guys? 47 Slouch, live from Queens. Yeah, I mean, right now I'm just taking a little bit, not necessarily a break from music creating wise. I'm just more focused on studying the things that I'm more passionate about, so that when I go back into my artistry, I'll be able to execute, my message, the quality of music videos, shows to the fullest extent. So I'm just taking my time that's necessary.
Mm-hmm. And what message is that you would say, like, you're trying to promote out there? Like, what is, like, the message that you're trying to, like, learn about or focus on that you would say?
So I'm big into, I like studying history. I like studying math, spirituality, all the different religions. I was in politics. I've been into politics since I was a young kid, in debate classes. You guys remember Mr. Seeley. But that and kind of inspired me to do more debates. So I love the debate sections of the speech class, and that kind of pushed me more into wanting to know the truth and how to make this world a better place. And I think that a lot of that has to do with my spirituality. Mm-hmm. So just using my music to promote peace. I'm into esoteric and mystic teachings. Occultism is the most notable name that goes with it. And a lot of people think occultism means evil, but it really just means hidden, you know. And
so is this more like religious, or would you say it's more like just moral, maybe even bigger than that?
Not necessarily religious, but it is religious at the same time. See, this is when stuff like that gets confusing, because religion is the literal context to the literary meaning. So basically, the literal context would be like Jesus goes up to Simon Peter, and Simon can't catch any fish because his net's on the left side. So Jesus says, throw your net on the right side, and you catch 153 fish. So that's the literal context. But people need to understand that scripture in any religious text, it is a part of a massive culture, which is mysticism. And the reason why the books are written that way is because you're supposed to read the literal context, but the literary is talking about the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. And if you're familiar with left and right brain hemisphere activity, the left brain is more reading, writing, arithmetic, statistics, structure, lines. That's all left brain activity. And then the right brain's more creativity, outside the box thinking, emotions, your passions, all come from the right hemisphere. So they won't teach you that, in religion. They'll make you understand it from a literal standpoint so that the literal devil has control over your life, or you have to pray to a literal Jesus to make sure that you're saved from something when Jesus said the kingdom of God is within. So my journey doesn't have to be televised if I don't want it to be, A lot of people do like to document their process, and, it comes with a lot of backlash, because people are always judging you on what you are currently rather than what you're trying to be in the future. And a lot of that is growing pains. That's why growing pains is a thing. The microcosm is the macrocosm. So like the smallest concept, like literally growing pains, you feel pain when you grow at certain points in life. And also emotionally, when you're going through things, you have to go through pain in order to get past that. For me, I want to be able to, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. I want to be like someone like that, even though your opinions might be not liked by a majority of people. I know my opinions are not liked by a massive majority of people, but I still believe that my message is true. And I want to be able to articulate myself in a way that, when I'm having a conversation with someone that's also well-versed in their subject, that we have a educated discourse and I'm not speaking off of passion and emotion.
Yeah, I see. And you just brought up something super obviously controversial, something I definitely wanted to ask you about because I've seen you post so much about it. Obviously, Charlie Kirk. Shiv, for those, you want to explain the situation a little bit, or for those people living under a rock? I mean, actually, you don't even need to explain the situation. It's not even any situation.
I haven't heard. Last week, conservative activist was murdered on college campus in Utah. That's pretty much the details.
Brutal, literally.
Ending, but it seems to be one person that was shot from 200 yards away, and it kind of sparked a lot of discourse around how the media may have pushed people in a certain direction, or if it's related to that at all. Certain sectors have been speaking on gun violence and things like that. And so,
is that kind of like how you feel a little bit, like kind of like the media pushing Charlie Kirk in a way? Like how do you feel about how the media is now portraying Charlie Kirk, or how even just the public is portraying him? Like, obviously there's one side completely like, oh no, like this guy's terrible, I'm glad he got killed, or apathetic at best, and there's this other side like you, I'm not even saying necessarily that you're one side of the political spectrum, just in this issue, I don't want to assume, but on this side is more people like, hey, look, he was a human being. Because there's people on left and right. I mean, you're seeing left people crying that this guy got shot. You're seeing right people that probably don't care. There's probably some people on the right that really don't care, that probably didn't care for the guy. So what is what do you think is the proper stance? Do you think it's at all okay for people to say, hey, look, like, this guy is terrible. This guy, is it okay for people not to care?
Okay, so this is this is why I want to take my time in studying what I study, to be able to articulate it, because I'm going to give two realities then. So the first one is the literal reality that we live in right now, what we're told is happening about, Israel might be involved, people on this side are mad and people on that side are mad, and people on that side are empathetic and that side are empathetic, but you see a lot of people with so much anger. I think, honestly, there's a lot of healing that has to do within the human consciousness. And that's why I feel like a lot of people who take the stance on they're happy that a life was lost, I do think there's a lack of knowledge of said person to be able to think that way about said individual. I watched Charlie Kirk not because I was a diehard fan or a conservative in any way. I don't even go down the middle politically. I'm very outside of political standards. Like, I don't really, it sounds crazy, like anti-establishment at the moment, but not on some violent anarchist type of energy, just very questioning about how the political structure is, but
not trusting anyone.
You really can't, because you hear a lot in the media, the world's a stage, and they tell you right to your face that it is. So there's a lot of things that you really have to really be cautious of, because not only did Charlie Kirk die on September 10th, but the day before, an innocent girl was stabbed in the neck. And they have a lot of controversy in that story as well. Like, oh, is it black on white? You know, he did it because she was white. She, you know, and that causes racial divide. Now, the very next day, you have an individual who spoke up and revolutionized the conservative party with Turning Point, and it was backed heavily by Republican congressmen, Republican candidates, presidents, and whatnot. And then he was gunned down. And now you have a political divide. And then what happens a couple hours later is the school shooting. And now you have a weapons divide, a freedom divide, a rights divide.
Yeah.
And then right after that, 9/11. The very next day is 9/11.
Oh, well, I thought you meant like actually 9/11. I was
No.
like, I think you're off by 20 years or so, but no. Okay,
No,
I see what you're saying.
9/11, 2025.
Yeah.
And then there's the, I guess you could say again, racial divide or a country divide in terms of power structure. These things are not coincidence. These things are all calculated purposely, and they use the sky, they use the moon. All those days were the 4 different phases of the moon. And the moon has a lot of energy. So people need to realize you feel these ways about this individual, yes, because you have a soul, but you're being manipulated into feeling these ways because they cause chaos.
But let me ask you this. Do you think at all, though, maybe it's not necessarily that people are getting manipulated, but maybe it's because like they see maybe some things that he has said or something like that. And I'm just asking, just devil's advocate here, like, do you think like maybe there is a right? Because like some people look at clips of him, you know, some people say he's racist, some people say, oh, that, you know, just bad things about him, that he doesn't like women, this, that. And he also said, obviously, one of the things that is trending the most is that he said, oh, in response to like school shootings, that gun deaths are absolutely necessary for gun rights. You know, I'm saying that is an absolute, you know, I don't know if you remember how he phrased it, but it was like perfect trade or kind of something like that. It was a trade-off in a way. Like
essentially phrased it as a trade-off in some sort.
I'm aware,
that
yeah.
one had to happen with the other.
And it to me at least, and I'll say this at least that it's to me, it's just, it's hard to kind of, you know, process the situation when you have, you know, obviously, look, nobody should get shot, period. You know, nobody should be getting murdered. We don't want to live in a world where this is okay, where, you know, obviously you can go, what if someone, I don't want someone to see this and hear you say, hey, I support Charlie Kirk, or I felt sad, and go shoot you. Like, that's not the world I want to live in. You know, we're allowed to have peaceful convos, and even if it's the worst people, I don't think they should be, you know, just shot up like that. So that's not what I'm saying at all. But it does make it a little bit more, you know, troublesome when you hear someone like, hey, like, this is, you know, the gun deaths are basically necessary. His death was necessary for that, right? So he kind of, in a way, died on that hill. So I think there is definitely a group of people that just are offended by him, that don't like him. Like, what would you say to that? Or do you think that really is just still just like, you know, the left? Because maybe the left is, maybe that all is influence from the left. What do you think?
Having positive feelings for a loss of life will always be wrong, no matter if it's Charlie Kirk, Adolf Hitler, Obama, you, the guy behind the screen right now, because the mere thought of life being lost and feeling grateful for it, you emotionally are not better than the person that you're persecuting. You are automatically putting yourself consciously even with the person that you want to die. Just because of the stuff that they choose to do, every religion will teach you that unwavering forgiveness and empathy are the 2 main factors when interacting with people in this world. Because you cannot teach somebody how to be a good person if you want them to have the worst punishment. And that's what, you know, the story of Jesus talks about is, you know, dying for our sins is dying for the next man, regardless of if you're being crucified, regardless of if you're being stoned to death, regardless of whatever your political view is. The reason why I bring up the moon is because people in this world who are under this social construct, a lot of people have trauma. I said this on my story the other day. A lot of people have trauma. And so since they don't study the laws of the universe, which is hidden from us, when they have incidents happen on very important days when we should be praying rather than watching a man get a bullet through his neck in front of his children, our emotions are amped because the moon controls our emotions. What's the worst day of the week?
Monday.
Moon Day.
Well, is that what that Monday stands for real? Moon Day?
Moon Day. And then Saturday is Saturn, Sunday is the sun, you know, and then it continues on.
I think I do remember hearing that.
And our mood is controlled by the moon.
Yeah, no, I see. Yeah.
You know, people need to understand there are so many laws and principalities to this world, and they'll hide it and symbolize it. You know, for example, like I weigh 145 pounds, right? What's the abbreviation for pound?
LBS.
LBS. That's libras in Latin or Spanish, and that means pounds.
To be honest, this whole time I thought it was IBS. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm a bit shocked this whole time. I've been spelling it IBS this whole time. So.
IBS, like the like irritable bowel syndrome.
I'm honestly really shocked right now, to be honest. Like, what the heck? So just to kind of sum up, then everything you're kind of looking for, like a way musically to kind of express these thoughts and like kind of put it into maybe like an album or whatever. I think you definitely should make this. You definitely should work on it, and also maybe even just a Christian album, honestly, or something like that. A little Kanye.
Well, I'm not Christian,
No,
so I wouldn't.
Oh, what are you then?
No, so
I
I
just
don't
know religion.
I believe that every religion is an allegory to the laws of the universe in terms of what we're able to do with our body, and you know, the studies of sound, vibration, frequency, and what we're able to do and manipulate energy through our body. And I believe that all the religions are basically a representation of that. Because what I said is the reason why the mystics wrote in literary context is because you have to have the intention to do anything you want in this life. So you have to have the intention to not to want to succumb to the king's way of interpreting the Bible, because the reason why he's telling you to look at this in a literal context is so that he has control over you. Instead of you realizing that the kingdom of God is within you, you're going to go to his church and you're going to follow his religious law. And back then, religion was law. Religion is law now. Church and state, how they tell you it's separated, it's not. Because when you were born, what happens a lot of the time is people don't take their afterbirth, right? So what the hospitals do is they take the afterbirth. And also all birth certificates go to the Vatican, regardless of whatever religion you are. It's a relationship between the state and the church. And that's reason is because the structure of your ID, and it says Jack, I don't want to give your full name, whatever.
Yeah. Well, you're going to say Jack Walter.
Jack Walter, all caps, right? That's not you. That's your government given name. And you represent the afterbirth that the hospital took from you when, you know, what they do with the umbilical cord, they cut it so quick. And then where do you think that goes? It's your life force. The most important part of the birth process is the very end, when the umbilical cord needs to dry up fully. The reason why they take it from you is because they want to make you sicker, and it's also you in that umbilical cord. So they are able to make a carbon copy of you because they have all of your DNA. And you represent the afterbirth. You don't represent Jack Walter, the human being.
Yeah. So you're saying that there's essentially a difference when you're in, you know, you're in the womb, you know, before, and that is essentially your full self, your full spiritual self. And then you get out, the doctors, they, you know, essentially they clip, you know, your umbilical cord, like you said. But essentially, even you can make really a case that life in general is really just, you know, clipping your umbilical cord in metaphorical sense, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in, you know, we're supposed to, you know, we're kind of like engineered to, like, you know, you have to work like a certain amount for money, and, you know, you need money to survive. It's like a very, like, you know, you have to earn your life. You have to earn your right to exist, sort of.
Absolutely. And money used to be a great thing until... What happened?
Jack's out of focus. Really bad.
For how long has he been out of focus? It's like giving a monkey putting a banana in a trap for a monkey. It's like, oh, you give it the prize, but there's always a catch.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier about, you know, you need to earn your right to exist, sort of. It's like, you're not in this world, like, you know, especially America, right? You're born, let's just say, like you said, you get sick from that, or you get sick, and just in general, a lot of times if you have cancer, a lot of times people are getting, you know, bankrupted. People, or any serious sickness, people are getting bankrupted. So I absolutely agree. I mean, I think at this point, come on, it's 2025. We all know this is a right at this point. Like, come on, we all deserve some good doctors here. Come on.
We all had the same 6th grade teacher, right? I'm not going to say the name of the individual.
So, yeah.
Did she ever tell you about her best friend? Did she ever tell you that story?
Well, probably. I think
At a
so.
morgue? That one?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that was I forgot his name, but he was a legend from the mouth of this 6th grade teacher. But she told my class that she had a friend who was a very rich doctor. Because said her name, whatever.
Yeah, it's okay.
But she had a lot of money because she was a lawyer, right, or attorney or something. So she had a lot of friends who were also, you know, big wigs in their respective fields.
Big wigs.
And, you know, she was a doctor, and she came to her and said, "Hey, I have a cure for this cancer thing." And then a couple months later, she got a call again, and it was like people came to my house and offered me money to move out of the country. And then she never heard from her again.
From the friend?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I remember her mentioning something like that before.
So this teacher said that, what do you call it? Like, I have a friend that cured cancer, and then that basically this friend just went up and left. That's insane. So I got to say, you did your performance. I've never heard this song before. I don't know if you've heard it, Shiv. Is this a song you've performed or ever released or anything like that? I've never heard of it.
I created a music video for it, but then I deleted it because the video, it wasn't really that great. But I really wasn't really into the song too much in the beginning, but I like this song for this type of aesthetic. You know,
I see. And what aesthetic is that, would you say?
it's just like, it reminds me of like an On the Radar freestyle, like with the background and everything.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give y'all just a nice little jiggy
I appreciate
vibe.
it. I appreciate
it.
that. I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, no problem.
Also, just because we're talking about music, I was wondering, 5 artists that you listen to. Give me just 5 top, like, you know, in the past month, let's just say. Come on, who's in your rotation?
This isn't any particular order of ranking. This is just going to be my 5 that I've been listening to. Lito, shout out my boy Lito. He was supposed to be here today. He's just running, doing his own thing right now. But my boy Lito, shout out Campfire, the whole collective. We also got my boy Sherm, who's here right now. Shout out Sherm. He's
back there.
he gonna be.
He would have been here too if he answered his text.
I
You
know.
you gotta
I
tell
know.
us public.
Already.
It's all good. We got time. Everything happens divine.
He's supposed to be
timing.
your protege. You gotta tell him, hey, come on, you gotta respond to the text here.
No, I feel you. So it's Lito, Sherm. I listen to myself a lot. Like, I really listen to my own music a lot. I don't really dive into too much secular all the time. I listen to Gunner, Gunnr, but I also have my boy Gunnar Gunner, who makes music, and he's super
I
fire.
thought you were gonna talk about Gunna. No mention for Gunna. I thought that's
I dive into Gunner from time to time. I used to listen to a lot of his old stuff. Like, Wanna was my favorite album.
yeah.
So Lito, Sherm, we said Gunner.
That's crazy. The stuff with the calls and stuff, Young Thug and the jail
the
calls,
YSL stuff,
all
yeah.
that shit, and all this stuff getting leaked. The Young Thug. Did you see any of that, or do you follow any of that, like YSL?
It's like, I like having stuff play in the background, so I watch a lot of Trap More Ross.
Yeah, I fuck with Trap Lord Ross.
As you know, I have him in the
Jack's a big
background,
fan.
and he kind of like dives into a lot of that stuff. I don't really care too much. Bad people do bad things, and we give a pat on the back to a lot of people who really aren't role models, in my opinion. I'm not really trying to take shots at like people individually, but I just think that the everyday person should not really care too much about the YSL.
Well, like of
collective.
course. I mean, look, I think honestly, luckily, like, if anybody, I think this guy is not getting rewarded for his behavior, because this guy last week, this guy Young Thug, he's in jail, right? And literally every day last week, new leaked call from this jail. One of him, admitting to cheating on his girl. I mean, it is like, let's look through the bank and find the most incriminating caught in 4K moments, bro. He's talking shit on his own friends, talking shit. I mean, on everybody. Talking shit about Glorilla. Like, what did Glorilla do? I mean,
think
you fucking deserve that, huh?
I think a lot of it comes from within the police department and
probably.
the DA. Just for the simple fact that they gave him 15 years probation. That's not winning a case. You didn't beat no case.
15 years probation?
15, yeah. He has to serve
Well, I
15
mean, he was
years
looking
probation.
at life, 47 to life. I mean, I would take 15.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying you didn't beat a case, because now everything that you do, they're watching.
Right.
And he was going out saying he was sticking his neck out there a lot of the times, from what I've heard about, talking about certain things after prison that relate to drug-related things, which is a part of his probation. So maybe instead of putting him in the cell, they did it worse and they humiliate him, bro, and they leak all these things.
And not only that, but it also alienates him from his friends, right? Because those people are his friends that are now considered criminal associates.
These people are very smart. people who run these agencies, and they also will love to humiliate if you disrespect them. So from what I'm looking at is like, okay, we could give you 45 to life, but you know what? I think taking away your loved ones is worse.
Yeah.
Because love is what's the driving force of everything. So you could sit in a cell and you could hold it down better if you have a lot of people on the outside that are rooting for you always. Of course, you're in a terrible situation, but you're way better off with that than nobody with everything.
Right. Well, how do you punish people in a world where prison time is notoriety? You know, where that would do nothing but get louder support for him. Where now he's pretty much banned from interacting with the people he used to interact with.
Yeah.
And living the life that he used to live.
Yeah.
Facts. I want to finish the list.
Sure. Yeah.
We
I
got,
think you were
and then XXXTentacion is next,
Shout
of
out.
course.
Sure.
And
What
then-
songs in rotation? Because obviously, you know, he passed away so long ago. It's like so many of his songs, sadly, like it's like, you know, now we're getting to a point where it's like, you know, there's no more new, you know, from this guy. But who actually tell the list and I'll ask more. Let me not interrupt.
Yeah.
You finish the list.
No, he's great. He's great. So let's just run it back. Lido, Sherm, Gunner, XXXTentacion, and then the last person that I'd say, I mean, I listen to so many different people, but I guess I'll just list like the one that I like out of all the ones I'm thinking of. You know what? The last one is just going to be my Campfire collective. Shout out Star. Shout out Chaka Dang. Shout out Molly. Shout out Lakey. You know, the whole Campfire collective, my squad, the people that I'm around the majority of the time. You know, those are the people that I really just listen to.
And I was asking more about the style, but let me ask this about your artist, because I want to know more about like what style, like when you listen to, you know, is it just mostly hip hop? I mean, I think you probably listen to, you know, more than just hip hop, but like what attracts you? Is it like the storytelling? Is it the lyrics? Is it the how it sounds? Is it the singing? Is it the instrumental? Like what would you say draws you to, like, you know,
I have
what's
so
a
many
good
people.
song?
I gotta mention Rose. I gotta shout out Pato. I'm sorry.
Shout out Rose.
Shout out Akato. Like shout out
Akato.
Jaden. Sorry, I'm done. But I have so
No,
many
don't be
people
done.
that I gotta
No
show
problem.
love
No,
to. You know?
keep naming them.
What
Keep
I was
naming
saying is, you know, it goes back to what you were saying before about community. And I know even coming here and your enthusiasm, Jack mentioned that you were actually watching our podcast from 4 odd years ago recently. And your support for community as from what I've seen, and we've interacted with people like this for a while. We've been making music for a while, and yours has been unwavering completely. It's to list your favorite artists as your collective and people adjacent to that and people that you know. That's a huge point of pride, I think, that it's good to take, because there's a lot of people that don't have that. There's a lot of people, you know, you always hear stories of artists coming up and nobody liked what I listened to and whatever, and it works best when you have a community of people supporting each other. So I just want to tip my hat to you on that. Because
So appreciate you.
No,
All I
it's-
got is my family, bro. That's it.
It's super important because, like, at the end of the day, like, everyone's just, it's such a competitive space. But if like you can come up together, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, look, you got your platform, we got our platform. The more you just collab and the more you just share with artists and stuff, it only helps everybody. It helps me having you on, helps yourself having you on. It helps everybody. You know what I'm saying? It helps. It's good to know. You know, do you have anything else to ask him before? I'm gonna hit him with. We want to get you to do a freestyle, bro. We're gonna get you to do a freestyle.
Cool.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. You good with that, bro?
that's
Come on. I know
perfectly
you good with that. You got anything?
Before you do that, ask him what his least favorite artist is.
Yeah. What is your least favorite artist? That's a good question.
Damn.
Come on. What artist you hate? Come on.
He's
Who you
trying
got
to-
beef with?
He's trying to beef bait me right now.
Who has he got beef with? Come on. You could tell us.
Nah,
Who should we ask him about? Come
I
on.
really I don't have the desire to want to think of artists as like bad.
You
I don't-
definitely hate someone. I know you hate
No,
someone. There's definitely someone.
I
you
don't hate. I
We'll figure it
really
out.
don't hate. Like Jesse was just in the car
Who's
with
your
me and we were
Kendrick? Who's
bumping
your
a bunch of.
Drake? Come on.
Oh, okay. I guess.
Yeah. Who is this?
I guess is that what you wanted to allude
Who's
to?
your
Is
beef?
that-
Yeah. Well, come on.
No, I mean when you go back to like, I believe that the industry is not what it seems. I believe that a lot of these people are bought out by agencies that understand that music has a lot of power over the consciousness, and especially lust is a huge superpower. Sexual energy is what we're made of, and they exploit us by using over sexual degenerates who get into lifestyles that are shown to us as children, but they're really just terrible. So like, there's a reason why Kendrick Lamar will go out and make a song called Meet the Grams, because people don't understand. Drake lives his life in lust and degrading women and power, and I believe that he had a hand in certain people's deaths. And
Like
that certain person may be an idol to me. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, I'm gonna ask you straight up. You can't. I hope you don't get mad at me. I'm gonna have to ask you. You can't just hint around that around here. We're gonna have to ask you straight up. Are you talking about X? Do you think Drake killed X, or
I think
because this is a theory that look
played
we've
a part.
actually me and Shiv we've long debated for years. So
Yeah.
this is something we'd love to get into. So you think Drake killed X?
so. I think that Drake has a lot of power. I think that Drake can do things in this rap game that not a lot of people are able to do. And I think it's because of who he surrounds himself with in terms of people in the industry. And
I'll help you out.
So-
This is his opinion, so don't sue him.
yeah,
I'll help
yeah,
you
I
out
mean,
here.
Don't kill him.
I mean,
Don't kill
yeah.
him either, Drake.
I mean,
Come on.
yeah, that's not gonna help, unfortunately.
Yeah. We'll know it's
you.
you. If you get shot, I'm telling everyone it's Drake. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, if I get, I hope I don't get myself in a situation, bro. You know,
Don't worry.
the
Don't
stuff
worry.
that I'm talking about, bro. People have been beheaded in public outings.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Look,
And you have always separated yourself from the industry throughout the years consciously. I've always, said that you want to do it yourself because you would like to avoid
yeah,
whatever it is that may go on. And every so often there's scandals that come out that reveal there may be something more widespread than maybe those isolated events point to when you line them all up. And I know that you've tried to stay out of that.
and you never know. Maybe that opinion will change. Maybe I want to go into the industry and sell my soul and become a degenerate for a couple of years. You never know.
if
but,
you got 10 mil,
On the inside.
call me.
But-
I'm kidding, guys.
but the reason why I say that is because I think a lot about these things, and it's like I would love to infiltrate from the inside because that's how everything always changes.
Mm-hmm.
Every institution, it's always
Yeah.
that wolf in sheep's clothing that kind of goes with the grain for a little bit, and then they give themselves a platform to then show the world what the truth is. But then you got to think about how far do you go until you become morally
Right.
a bad person.
Yeah.
So like regardless of however much you expose, what did you have to do to get to that point? Because now you're not credible
Does
anymore.
The end justify the means.
Exactly.
Do want to let you get to the freestyle, but I actually had a question because you had brought it up, and I know you had sent this to Jack recently when we first began talking about the episode, but I realized I never asked you about it. Campfire.
Yeah.
What's the story behind it? Because I honestly, I won't say I have your post notifications turned on, but I check your posts a lot, and I honestly wasn't aware of it, so I just wanted to...
Yeah. So shout out to my boy Lito. I met him through this kid, well, not kid, but he's my homie too, Trinity. Shout out Trinity. He also makes music too. Like he's fire. I have so many people that just make ridiculously fire music. And I met Trinity through Jesse Sherm. And, we just chopped it up. We had similar tastes in music. Like he was huge into X as well as I. And I was talking a lot on my story about certain things about sound, frequency, the devil, and emotions. And we had a conversation over Instagram and chopped it up. And I got to know him personally a little bit, emotionally, which is really the best way I feel to connect with somebody. We just started hanging out more. And then he introduced me to a plethora of people who are passionate about creation. And I feel like for a long time, it was just me and my little immediate group who were into the music, but I really wanted to expand and get to know more people and explore the culture of the underground scene, because I always kept myself away from it. And so that's when I started meeting people like Star, Chaka, Molly, Manny, Lakey, so many people, artists, designers, hairstylists, actors, just a plethora of people. And so Campfire is basically their collective that I I'm fully into the Campfire thing. We are our collective, but I kind of went into it. It already existed. It wasn't something that we got together and we created. It was kind of something that I wanted to kind of join.
I see.
But it's still 47 everything, you know what I mean? I rep 47 for the spiritual reasons, as it's always been. Yeah, earlier on we had a little collective, but it didn't pan out the way that we wanted it to. But it's always still 47. I'm just associated with the Campfire collective as well.
And final question, at least for me. We'll see if Shemav. But what's next? Like, what's the next move? You say you're taking a hiatus from music, but does that mean, like, are you sitting here telling me, like, no music's gonna be released for a year, or no music's gonna be released for 6 months? Is there no plans at all? Is there like, hey, maybe give me 6 months, I'll tune back into this and we'll tap in, or is it you might be gone forever? Like, what is this?
It's really just the time that I need, like I said, to focus on the things that I think are a little bit more important right now, is just articulating myself and the things that I'm studying in a way that is going to make a lot of sense for when I actually put stuff into music, because you got to remember, like, as much as I want to just create music just to create music, nothing that I'm creating right now is just I'm just making this song because this is the mood I'm in. No, because I don't want my artistry to just be you listening to my music and enjoying my music. Like, I want to attack all different spectrums of art, which is really want to tap into your emotional side, your theological side. I want you to think about nature. I want you to think about the world that you live in. I want you to also, while thinking about those things, still be able to vibe out wherever you are, in the car or with your friends or even at a party or whatnot. So it's going to be hard to do that. It took years for rap to be this super evil, low vibrational, drug infested, lust infested music, right? You got to remember, like, people are fully accepting of just listening to rappers talk about murder, drugs, sex, because it vibes. That took a while to happen.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm not going to say I'm the pioneer of this, because this has always been a type of music, but I really want to push that positivity and vibes and being consciously aware of where you are as the standard of, like, vibey music.
Yeah. And of course, I think there's good sides of hip hop, bad sides. I think, some people do, but I definitely don't want to discount definitely tons of artists that are, doing their own thing like that.
Yeah.
I feel like those people should be in the forefront,
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know how long it's going to take me. I'm just kind of going with emotions. I'm studying and I'm doing my meditations on Instagram, which is the only thing that's posted on my page right now.
Yeah.
Is just the breathing. So everything just comes in accordance. Like, this is perfect. This is, I didn't expect to make videos about this interview, but when this comes out, I'm definitely going to post about it. And then that's going to be the messages for that month. And then everything kind of just flows.
Yeah, exactly. I see. So fly by seat your pants.
Yeah.
My wondering for your next step is on the other side of this studying, and which I have a lot of respect for, by the way. With what you had said in the beginning, I agree that when you were beginning to learn something, especially when it's so wide and there's so many different things, and you try and report that as you're learning, there's inconsistencies or things you're incorrect on, and people are going to pile onto that. So it's sometimes better to kind of make sure that you completely understand what it is you're trying to push before you push it.
Absolutely.
What I was wondering, I was actually thinking this earlier because of your focus on vibration. On the other side of this, and excuse me, I don't remember the number, but is detuning the scale, where A is detuned. Is that in the future for your next work as part of?
It could be. The most recent thing that I dropped, the first song that I dropped this year is "How You Been," and I had a music video with it. And it's featuring the artist Lido, and I dropped 2 versions of it. I dropped the
I remember that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I completely forgot.
I dropped the 440 hertz, and then I did the 432 hertz. 440 hertz is what the national tuning standard is for radio, for DAWs that you use to create music with. That's just the national tuning standard. And when you understand cymatics, which is basically what sound does to physical objects that are extremely light, like salt. Like if you have a metal tray with a vibrating thing on the side of it that's like taped to it, and then you put a bunch of salt on the metal tray, and say you tune whatever machine that you use to have the frequency come through the wire onto the metal tray, say you set it to 440 hertz. Things with symmetry are positive vibrations. 440 hertz is not a symmetrical shape. We can't see it with our eyes because our eyes are trained to only receive a certain amount of photons to then create this reality. Because in reality, everything is just one big light. The observable universe is essentially just a big light. But our eyes are trained to then take the certain things, the certain photons, the messenger particles. That's why Jesus is the messenger and he's also the light. We are only be able to see things from this certain perspective because that's what created us. But sound, if you look at it from a different camera lens, like an X-ray, you'll see that it has a shape. And so when you are constantly taking in unsymmetrical shapes, that's what causes dis-ease. That's why the word disease is what it is, because it creates illness.
And that has an eye.
Yes. Oh,
I don't know.
The funny thing about the letter I, right? The lowercase I,
Yeah.
right? What does the lowercase I look like?
Line with a dot.
Right?
Looks like a person.
And you use the letter I to identify yourself, I.
Oh, well. And that's the connection.
And the capital letter is one straight line because you're aligned. It's the connection between the body and the mind. That's why it's the capital I is one straight line. And that's why it's first. You know, the letter I also correlates to the number 1 because I is one person. So that's why they both have the same. Yeah. And that goes into the English language being code and whatnot. Like, for example, I'll show you this, right? This is cool. You know hand mantras, right?
Yeah.
So the cool thing about hand mantras is not only do they make sick animes about it, but they also show, I'm just dropped that on the floor. They also show the importance of why it's important to have them in meditation. I'm gonna take this off actually.
Yeah, don't worry.
So at the end of our fingers are the nerve endings. And when you have your hands in different positions, you send different frequencies throughout your body. So that's why in Naruto, when he goes, it's like he's creating energy. He's creating a force within himself. And when you go down to the microscopic level of a human being, you've maybe heard of this, like quantum physics, maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson's talked about it. We're down to numbers and letters. And that's how they're able to find cures for diseases. Is that's how they create vaccines, is they create these microscopic code, essentially, that is put into your body. It's supposed to regulate the coding system within you. So you know how you learn like AA, BB, CCD? That's a code. And so vaccines are made to then go and stop that low vibrational inconsistency from happening within your body. So you're able to do that with your, are we out of focus? We're able to do that with your hands, right? So I'm gonna show you here, and then I'm gonna, you ever heard of your thumb not being considered a finger? You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And that's why hand mantras exist. It's because when you have your hands like this and you take a deep breath in and out, it expands your lungs. It helps you breathe better. You see Elon Musk stand like this, and so does Trump, because this is supposed to accumulate wealth. This, you see Andrew Tate stand like this a lot. This represents alignment. That's why he's the top G. And it also represents, the Masonic compass looks like that because it's supposed to represent alignment. Mm-hmm. So there's so much, guys, to this world that we are lied to about.
This one.
Oh, exactly, yeah. So the middle finger, the reason why the middle finger is an insult is because it's the biggest finger on your hand, and this represents spirit. The middle finger represents your spirit. So if I'm throwing you the finger, it means I'm mocking your spirit. That's where it comes from.
Wow, I gotta say, so, I mean, you have definitely enlightened me at the very least. Like, Shiv might have known a lot of this, but I was looking forward to being enlightened. Glad I got to talk to you. We're gonna throw it to the freestyle guys. Let's see what Slouch got.
Yeah. Cash, I get it. Bag, big digits. This life is living. I cipher, I split it. You gone. You gone. You gone. Hey, Mr. Why the hell would I quit right now? Brody talk, but he never walk. Put the pipe down. Kid a beat, make no one use it twice like this was my sound. Magic man, walk around the city in a nightgown. Ask a friend, all these ART don't got a price count. Dirty Dan, but if we got plans, I clean them nice. His ego bigger than his head. I pushed him once and he felt right. Lido blessed with ghetto friends. My fit like 10 if 10 the height. Got more figures than your man's figures. I got right. Put that shit all in your nails. Just scratching on my ride, we in a different age. Just don't take it from me, look at the sky, this ain't no dinner date. But the way I eat it, thinking Mike, we got so many copy trends, I copy bands to separate. Why y'all claiming this and that, but this ain't that, and actually I said no thanks, got a shorty, ain't no need to ask for me. I told her not now, think her name is Britta Ashley. Asked a tree inside the solo cup and then I spiked the drink. Making movies play to play, he got game Spike Lee, yeah.